And I was going to take the high road and just say thank you and leave.
Don't take the high road, Paul.
But I have something to say to you! I've waited a long time to say this! I almost forgot about you!
Or I'll do things differently. I make my own rules because it's much easier that way. You made a mistake by turning your back on me because I don't play no game.
One more time for old time's sake! Right there so the whole world can see us!
Whoa, 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 whoa! We are back with another edition of Oh No Wrestling. And man, I'm tired. I gotta tell you, there has been so much wrestling going on that my dishes.
And we're not even done with it yet.
I know. There's been so much wrestling going on this week. I got dishes piling up in the sink. My yard needs mowing. I had to take a nap before the show just to be able to do a show because I've been watching wrestling nonstop. Duncan, I'm exhausted. Are you?
I mean, I am, but I'm also on a 2-hour time difference, so I get a little bit more sleep than you do.
That's probably true. I mean, and it's a good type of exhausted, but I can definitely say that man, oh man, what a week of wrestling it has been.
I mean, and we should also acknowledge the fact that we are sacrificing watching the Cruiserweight Classic and NXT live right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
To bring all of our fans this show.
Exactly. Well,
because we know how important it is to get our show out on Wednesday, if possible, for everybody.
Yeah, it's pointless putting this out too late in the week because by that point we're going to be starting all up again. So
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of high points and there's a few low points.
There's a few points.
Yeah, points is kind of a good way to put it. Yep. I guess because there is so much, we should just hop right into it, and that starts all the way back, which it seems like an eternity ago now. But yeah, it starts all the way back last Saturday at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2. Yeah,
second year in a row, the Barclays Center, the house that Hova built.
And I gotta say, it was another great show.
Yep.
They're really these takeover events are all delivering. I mean, I don't think there's been a bad one yet.
Dude, and that's the thing, like, I was toying with the idea during Mania week about, maybe we won't go to TakeOver, but every time I watch a TakeOver event, I'm like, fuck, have to go to TakeOver.
Yeah, I think you'd be silly to miss it. It's I would sacrifice. I don't know. Now we have to go when Mania's here. Now we have to go to TakeOver. We got to go to WrestleMania, and we really want to probably go to Raw and SmackDown the following week.
I mean, definitely got to go to Raw. SmackDown, I think it's going to depend on where it is.
Yes, exactly. Because obviously, I can see them possibly doing Raw in Orlando and SmackDown in Tampa, or Tampa and Miami. But yeah, if it's in Orlando, I'm going to feel pretty shitty if I don't go to that as well. And then, of course,
I mean, if it's in Orlando, I'm going to have to go because I'm already going to be there.
And, we've got to probably think about doing a lot of the access stuff. And, man, it's going to be nuts. But anyway,
yeah.
TakeOver is a really strong event, like I said. I think some of the highlights were I loved seeing this new women's competitor. It was one of the first match of the night. It was probably the second match of the night. But Ember Moon coming out of nowhere with a I don't even know what to call it. It was like a somersault super stunner.
I mean, I don't know what you'd call it either, but she flattened that Aussie broad.
Yeah. I mean, obviously she's well liked. I mean, I guess she has a pretty big independent following.
She was trained by Booker T, I believe.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, I mean, all of a sudden the female division looks a little bit different. And that's partly because the second to last match of the night saw the send-off of Bayley, who was defeated by Asuka.
Retained.
But yeah, night and day.
Asuka retained the champion. It was like they knew that it was going to be Bayley's send-off. And obviously, like, you know, if you've seen an NXT takeover event, you know that if they give them that moment in the ring after a particularly good match, it's like, okay, it's probably their
see you on Monday.
Yep.
Exactly.
Or Tuesday.
Exactly. Now, real strong match between those two. Asuka, I like watching Asuka in the ring. I think she's great.
Yeah.
Not taking anything away from Bayley, of course, because, I mean, that's just...
No.
That's just on... everybody knows how good she is, but Asuka really deserves...
Right.
She deserves to be a champion. She looks strong in the ring. She looks tough. She's intimidating. She's got all the pieces of the package, I think.
Absolutely. And it's going to be great, you know, when they finally bring up somebody who can actually, like, you know, you believe is a contender against her. And put them over. Like, it's good wrestling.
I say she's got everything apart from the English.
Oh, English not so good.
Not so good.
No, it's okay. It's okay though. It's fine.
We'll give her a pass.
We'll give her a pass. I think we have to also acknowledge that there was a glorious moment.
Oh my God.
On TakeOver 2.
That entrance was something else. 2 great entrances on the show, by the way. 3 if you include Asuka's, but Bobby Roode coming down from the heavens, bestowing his gloriousness upon us all.
It was so good. Dude.
It was so good.
I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, like main roster now, please. Just go ahead and just fuck it. Like after this match, just have him do one match in NXT and just move on. Like he doesn't even need to win the championship. He just bring him
glorious.
up.
It's fine.
It's fine.
But also you had Austin Aries over No Way Jose. Fine match, but man, I loved that we finally got, God damn it. Owen, help me. What's his name?
What? Who are you talking about? Austin Aries defeating No Way Jose. What do we got here?
Yeah, but it was
oh shit. Yeah.
Thank you.
Itami.
Hideo Itami.
Yes, Itami showed up out of nowhere. We're looking real stylish with like pants that I guess were 5 inches too short and no socks
and shoes and no socks. He looked like you in boat shoes.
Yes, he did. But that was all. You know, you can say that might look silly, but what didn't look silly was what came after that.
Oh,
how refreshing is it to see someone other than CM Punk do that move?
No, not someone. The originator of that move.
Invented that fucking move, yes.
Yeah.
Go to Sleep's a great finisher. I mean, I don't know if CM Punk, like, I mean, we all know he took it from him. Was he given permission by him to take it, or was
I think he just did it.
You think he just did it? Like, which that's really shitty.
Dude, I'm not a big enough CM Punk fan to know the details of that, other than to know that Kenta is what he was wrestling as then, was the originator of the GTS. I love that move. It's always one of my finishers on a creator wrestler.
Nice.
On video games. Like, it's all, dude, it's just like, I love the way it looks. Like, and it's just, dude, like fucking a knee to the face. Ow.
Just in the ways, just you throw him up in the air like that to catch him down with that knee. Like it looks like one of those moves that if wrestlers do wrong, they can really fuck somebody up.
Dude, for sure.
You know, sure. It looks like a pretty dangerous move, but I'll take it all day long.
Oh, for sure. Man, but then you really gotta, like, you want to talk about entrance of the night.
Yeah. Our boy. Shinsuke
Dude,
Nakamura.
the live violin.
What if they do that everywhere they go? What if they bring along a guy or they get a local talent to,
No.
Why not?
No.
Big pay-per-views. Maybe not like everywhere.
Yes, big pay-per-views. That's it. The pay-per-view, you can do something special.
Yeah.
A big pay-per-view, you do something really special.
It was cool though, and you were just saying about moves that can really fuck somebody up. Seemed like Shinsuke might have really fucked up Samoa Joe a little bit there.
Dude, either that or Joe is just a hell of a seller and like made it look like his jaw was fucking dude, but like strong style, right? So you can't really if he dislocates your jaw, he dislocates your jaw.
Yeah, exactly. We had predicted Nakamura to win the match. Did I really think that was going to happen? I actually didn't.
I didn't either.
I thought they were going to definitely keep the belt on Joe. I thought maybe Shinsuke would win, but I definitely didn't think he was walking away with the belt.
No.
So to see him do
but he did
that quick it's got to be an instant reaction on NXT and WWE's part to the fan reaction.
I mean, yeah.
About just saying,
at that token,
he's
we're
so over.
At that point, we are doing a disservice by not finding out exactly what's happening on NXT right now.
Yeah.
So we should continue to move on so that we can maybe watch that tonight.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, we have the second biggest show of the year, the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. I guess, you would have to say that, right? Over really Rumble.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
SummerSlam's the second biggest. Now,
SummerSlam's second biggest, and Mania is obviously biggest, then SummerSlam, and then I would say Rumble just because it leads to Mania.
Good point. Very mixed opinions on this show. Very mixed opinions. It's the only word that I can use to describe it, and it's not good or bad. It's
the
weird.
Guy. I know.
It was just
weird.
It
was okay. Like, here's what I think was weird about it was just the order in which things happened. I know they tried to do 2 Raw matches, 2 SmackDown matches, 2 Raw matches, 2 SmackDown matches. I get that. But, like, the flow of the action was just so awkward.
Felt stunted.
Yeah.
And it just does not look good when you have all these important belts like the Intercontinental Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship so low on the card.
Yeah, so early in the card. It's not.
It makes no sense.
Not at all.
No. I guess kickoff show went exactly as planned. Sheamus defeating Cesaro, called that one. It wasn't a bad match. There wasn't any bad matches on the kickoff show. It was a kickoff show. It's good to see American Alpha kind of, what they won their match, but by way of the Usos sort of stealing the victory from them. Which was kind of interesting, leading me to believe that, they'll be the final 2, and we'll get to that later in the SmackDown tournament.
Disagree.
Yeah.
Disagree.
You don't think so?
Heath Slater, baby.
We shall see about that. We shall see, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But SummerSlam as a whole, the big standout things are obviously the AJ Styles John Cena match.
Oh my God!
Holy shit, they did it!
Borderline match of the year, and they did it.
They did it. They really did. It was great to see Big Match John have a big match and put over Styles.
And he didn't look. That's the thing is, like, he did not look any less superhero John Cena.
Nope.
Because he lost clean. Like, dude, the match was so good. My adrenaline ran so high during, like, the last 10 minutes of it.
Those false finishes, one after the other. Dude, Cena just looking over in disbelief. Like, he can't put this guy away. No matter what he's doing, the heart of Styles.
AJ, yeah, man, it was so good. That was a beautiful pro wrestling match.
It really was. It really was. Make no secret that we're John Cena and AJ Styles fans, but again, match of the night, I think kind of by far.
Oh, definitely by far. That's in the contention for match of the year.
Totally. We got some other highlights. I mean, the big ones we got to shout out the fact that none of us expected Sasha to be losing that match.
No, that was highly whoa.
Which and it is a little concerning because they did announce, of course, that she'll be out for 33 days.
Well, let's talk about injuries at the end, that ties into something that happened last night.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Which is, it's a really good point. None of us expected that. I think it was a decent match. It was a decent match. It wasn't their best, but it was okay.
But it was okay. It was a good match. It was a fine match.
I mean, Sasha almost died 5 times in it, but that's what she does. I think
she needs to stop doing that.
Right.
That's why she's hurt.
Exactly.
Intercontinental Championship, The Miz
boring match.
Apollo Smiley.
Boring match.
Dude, it was a pretty boring match. We'll get into that as well. Tag championships, Gallows and Anderson defeated the New Day, but the New Day retained the belts because of Big E returning to action.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that. I don't know why.
Man, that was so lame.
And it's not what you really should be doing with such a face tag team. I mean, I guess you could say that obviously the club started it. With the ring post itis, and it's justification.
Oh, 100%. But the club is a heel team, and that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. It was kind of a meh match, honestly.
Well, yeah, because it was fine up until the end. Up until Jon Stewart got involved, it was fine.
Yeah, it was a pretty average match up until that point, and I just don't think it did many favors of making the club look strong.
No, but man, they're never going to make them look as strong as we want them to look.
Yeah, probably not. They're obsessed with them being a comedy duo for some reason.
Hang on. We'll get to that too.
Yeah. Then you have as we kind of said before, the order of the card being so odd. World Heavyweight Championship coming up. What was it, 4th from top of the card, or 5th?
Yeah, 5th technically. Yeah. 4 more matches after that, and then it's man, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why would you?
Why devalue
do you do
it? Why do you do that? It's the belt, man. Maybe because of the Universal Championship.
Look, right? Well, hold on. We have to acknowledge the fact that if you want to debut a brand new equivalent to the World Heavyweight Championship, you have to give it top billing.
You definitely should.
And if you don't give it top billing because you've got fucking the Brock Lobster on the card, then you make it then you put it second to a co-headliner, essentially.
Yeah, exactly, and that's fine. I would be perfectly fine with that. But
right, but we all knew that we were going to see some Raw, of course, Universal Championship, new championship, Raw. That's going to get favoritism over the SmackDown stuff.
Of course,
obviously,
yeah.
So, but it didn't need to be that favorited.
No, I mean, and in the Ambrose Ziggler match, it wasn't bad. It was fine. I feel like
it was fine. It was what it was. I feel like it could have been worse. It also could have been much, much better. I think, but it was too predictable.
It was way
we all
too
saw
predictable.
That coming.
The only thing that was a little unpredictable was how weak they were going to make Ziggler look.
Man.
I thought they were at least gonna. I mean, one dirty deeds and he's out.
One and done.
And
one and done.
And not
John
even a
Cena
great
takes
setup
out
for it.
2 Styles clashes. Fucking like AJ Styles kicks out of an AA from the top rope. Like,
yeah.
Come on. Everybody else, what the fuck was that?
So poor Ziggler. I mean, I'll be first to say that I'm not the biggest fan of his character or anything, but I know the guy can wrestle, and it just what are you doing? You've just instantly put him back on the mid card.
Yeah, not necessary.
Oh, we got Nikki Bella returning. That's exciting.
Yay.
That was really, I was pretty thrilled with that.
But we're not girls. That's the thing. Like, we're not girls. I think girls like Nikki Bella.
Do they? You can do
girls, not women. Girls, not women.
Yeah, true. Now, we had the whole thing, obviously, with Eva Marie being on her wellness policy suspension. So she couldn't, wrestle. Nikki Bella takes her place.
And that's why we got Nikki Bella, yeah.
I did want to ask, I love the voice that they're behind Eva Marie's. Eva Marie cannot be here right now because of traffic and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Is that Morrow? Do you think that's Morrow?
I don't know, but it kind of sounds like him.
Listen to it again. I think it's Morrow slightly altered. And it makes sense because it's like he's on SmackDown. They can use him. He's talent already. They can use him night of to fit, whatever they want to do and record a quick one. And I don't know. I feel like it would be funny if it is. And to me, I don't know. I just think it is.
You want it to be.
I want it to be for sure.
Right.
Now we got to move on to like the real meat and potatoes of the end of the show.
The real balls and shafts of the show, if you will.
Indeed. Finn Balor
Kinda.
defeats...
Don't do that.
defeats Seth Rollins via pinfall. Clean. Clean as a whistle.
Super clean. As clean as a whistle after Seth had, tried to kill the poor man.
Yeah, he did it again. I'll go on record as saying I don't think it was 100% Seth's fault. I mean, Balor lands really awkwardly on that shoulder.
Because if he hadn't have put his arm back like that, he's cracking his skull.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But
like Seth released him way too early.
It's amazing to look back on the footage now and watch Finn like pop that shoulder back into place 3 minutes into the match.
Pure fucking balls.
Pure balls and adrenaline and knowing that you're gonna be winning this title tonight, so you're gonna power through it. I mean, what was this? Probably about a 20-minute match, right?
Yeah, I'd say.
So yeah, you've got 17 minutes to go. And here you are, with a dislocated shoulder and a torn whatever it is, labrum. But this one was interesting because you also had the fans really sucking the life out of the match. You had them protesting this new belt, which everyone in the world seems to hate. This Universal Championship on the red strap. I don't think it's as bad as and as hideous as people are making it out to be. I think it's a little bit lazy of a design.
That's the biggest thing that everybody is saying. It's just like, it's just the same belt, just with a red strap. I'm like, well, yeah.
They're kind of branding the belts like that, though. Like that's the direction they've decided to go. With a unification of the look of all the belts.
You want them to bring back the goddamn big gold belt?
Everybody wants
them to bring back
like an eagle belt.
You want them to bring back the eagle? Yeah, like that shit's not going to happen. Like right now, while they're putting the focus on the division between the brands, I think that it's a good idea to have, red, like kind of a red color scheme versus the blue color scheme on the belts.
And honestly,
makes sense to me.
And honestly, I think I don't know if it was part of the reasoning or not, but that whole red look would have looked really good on Finn. Like it kind of makes sense. Now, I don't know that you obviously don't change it per champion, but for the first champion to be Finn, and he's got so much red in his intro and red in his attire, it would fit with the demon. I don't know, but overall,
I mean, honestly, like the belt was whatever. I don't think that just because you don't like the belt, you shit on the match.
No, definitely not. Which is arguably the second best match of the night.
Right. Correct.
And for a guy that has completely defied all logic of WWE and completely been rocketed to the stars, and here's the small guy,
the indie guy, like it's the indie guy, bro. Come on.
Don't fucking shit on him like that. But at the end of the day, I couldn't have been happier for Finn. It was great to see him raise it at the end of the match. It was awesome to finally get that sort of, oh my God, that feeling that maybe things can change, maybe things can, evolve in
a payoff, like like something that finally feels like a new direction as opposed to same old shit.
Right. So, that being said, we then move to the last two matches of the night.
Well, the last match and the last not match.
If you can call either of them matches, to be honest with you.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Because the first one didn't even start. Roman basically just rampaged all over Rusev. I don't understand in that situation why they don't then determine that as a DQ, even though the match hasn't started, I mean, I guess that's the reasoning.
Yeah. But dude, it was so stupid.
It was stupid. I don't think Rusev's really injured, but...
No, he's not. And even if he has bruised ribs, he'll fucking still compete. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me why you would you do that? Because it doesn't make anybody look...
It didn't do favors for either of them, did it? Like, Roman isn't all of a sudden cool now because he did that. Like, it did nothing for him. It made Rusev look weak.
It made them both look weak, I think.
So that's a real big downer, especially to have that so close to the end of the show. And it's putting so much on the fact like that Roman is important still. Roman is the guy, and
but dude, like he's feuding for the U.S. Championship. So why don't you put the U.S. Championship in the middle of the fucking card?
Yeah.
Where it belongs in this occasion.
Now, before we get to the end of the show, how exactly, what would the order be for you for, let's say, like the last, the really misplaced matches? Like the last few matches, we'll say. I mean, because I feel like you can keep that Intercontinental Championship match fairly, early in the show, but you certainly move the Nikki Bella, the 6-man tag bullshit. You move that way back.
Definitely.
Why that match wasn't before the women's championship match is beyond me.
Because they wanted to have the
SmackDown
surprise of Nikki.
Yeah.
I know.
But that almost
the SmackDown roster and
But that almost, because they put it so late, and because we almost knew that was happening. Like, had they done that earlier, it would have actually been a little bit more of a shock that this huge moment with Nikki's coming. Like it. Yeah. Do you understand my logic there?
No, I totally do.
You certainly. I don't know. It's just, again, that card's all over the place. We need to sit down and write it all out as to what the order would be. But
dude, if there wasn't so much that had gone on this week in wrestling, we would be reordering that right now.
Yeah.
But we didn't have time. But my last four matches, I would have had an actual Universal Championship match.
Mm-hmm.
or not actual Universal, actual United States Championship match. Yes. Then I would have had the World Heavyweight Championship match.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would have had Brock and Orton.
And then finishing up with
and then finish off with the Universal Championship. Or if you're still going to have Orton and Brock fucking close out the show, then you do World Heavyweight, Universal, steroids versus Snake.
Yeah. And that whole thing, like, I think we were both just a little bit sickened by the whole ending of the show, and it wasn't necessarily because it was so ultra violent or anything like that. I mean, it definitely played a part, but Brock,
it didn't make any sense.
It didn't. It was just stupid, and it was such like a bummer of an ending. Like, oh, great.
Well, it's like, did it? Like, it made Randy look like, oh shit, he can take a beating and come back, and like, fuck, like he just got his head split open. But at the same time, like, it didn't do anything but make Brock look like, yeah, he's still an asshole, and I still don't like him.
No, definitely didn't do any favors there. I mean, and that's the direction that his character will be now and will forever be. Just that guy. I get that part, but stop letting him do everything he just fucking wants and being lazy as shit in the ring. Because, okay, you've got a cool suplex, bro, but like do a couple other moves. Just like that whole Suplex City thing has gone too far in my eyes, and it's really stale.
Dude, like that's his shtick, is he does suplexes.
And
you're right, and it is stale. Like, it completely is stale, because he's a good wrestler.
Right.
Like, maybe not a good pro wrestler, but a very good amateur wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to just be like, dude, but that's the thing, is like, they're paying him so much money. He's exempt from the wellness policy. Like,
gets to work a couple months out of the year.
At best.
Yeah, whenever he wants, pretty much.
Dude, because some people still be like, woo, Brock Lesnar, and I'm like, why do you care?
No.
Like, why does anybody still cheer for this asshole?
I will say the only positive about the whole thing is it had me guessing whether or not it was real or not, you know? It had
I'll give you that.
It had me guessing, oh shit, has Brock really just lost it? Is this supposed to be going down? At the end of the day, I do think, and especially from what I've read, that was the planned ending. Now, I'm not 100% sure he was supposed to crack his skull open that bad with his elbow.
Well, he definitely... Well, he was supposed to make him bleed.
Right. But I think it was excessive. It certainly didn't look very PG era to me.
10 staples, like, you saw the blood just pooling.
Yep. Yeah, you don't...
And for any fucking body who thought that was a blade job,
mm-hmm.
I just want to say to you that you are very out of touch with pro wrestling.
Yeah, blade jobs don't look like that. You look at that wound.
Not only do blade jobs not look like that, blade jobs don't happen anymore.
No.
If you see blood 99% of the time, it was accidental. Somebody got fucking busted open the hard way.
Yep.
As the case with Brock, I watched it. You can watch it happen. Like, you can watch that forearm and then his elbow just crack on his forehead, and like you're like, yep, that was it right there. Mm-hmm. Dude, to put things into perspective, I just want you to know, and you might not even know this, Brock Lesnar can barely fit into a 4XL UFC fighting glove.
Good God.
Exactly.
That's just, I mean, he's a mutant.
That is fucking mutant. Exactly. It's like fucking like my hands are big. I'm pretty sure his hands are like two of mine combined.
That's insanity.
Yes.
The only time, I mean, because again, I'm not a huge Orton fan. but I was legitimately concerned for Randy. And if it did anything for anyone, it may have made him a bit more likable. Maybe
a bit more sympathetic.
A bit more sympathetic. Maybe it's because he's got such a rocky past. I think what it does is solidify his love for wrestling, that he's willing to go that far. And that's
by rocky past, you mean he's kind of an asshole.
Well, he's kind of an asshole, and he's done things to not only jeopardize the company, but jeopardize his own career. So,
well, and that's what I mean. Like he has come so far from where he was when he first started. Like his attitude is night and day. Like you can definitely tell that he's almost had it taken away from him a couple of times, and to see him like come through to where he is now, like fuck yeah, dude. Like good on you.
Yeah,
like,
good on you. And I think he knew he had to do something like that, and that's why the finish was the way the finish was.
Well, yeah, because what's Randy gonna do? Like, he's got no direction, so you gotta give him something.
Totally. Now, what is great is that obviously Jericho, who was watching backstage by all reports, thought the same as us, because he apparently ran to the gorilla position and started asking everybody, is this work? Is this real? What's going on? Is this planned? And then
nobody would answer him.
Nobody would answer him. And then when Lesnar came backstage, he apparently got in Lesnar's face. And they had a slight altercation.
And that's awesome. Like, good for Chris. Like, I'm like, I that makes me like Jericho a little bit more. I know I'm not supposed to.
Right. But how can't you, man?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
He's the Ayatollah. But dude, we've been watching Jericho for like 15 years. Like it's understandable.
What's crazy now though is like seeing him at this point in his career, we should be sick of him. And this might be one of the best iterations of his character ever.
Dude, every time he's just smarmy heel Jericho, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, but it's, a slightly different twist on like the annoying prick Jericho that we all grew up with. That was still smarmy.
The conspiracy victim.
Yes, exactly. Like now he's just added layer upon layer, and every time I think he comes back, he just does something that, he evolves his character, does something a little bit different just to keep it moving, which is
good. He's fucking really good. Yeah. That's the thing.
Speaking of, then obviously we got the following day where our worlds were turned upside down.
Dude, the rumors started coming through fairly early.
Yeah,
and we're just like, no, I hope that's a work. And then, about 2 hours before Raw went on the air is when the actual WWE app was like, breaking news. Finn Balor to relinquish newly won Universal Championship due to shoulder injuries sustained at SummerSlam. Motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. I gotta give it to them though. They handled it well. I think.
No, they did it great. I don't think they could have handled it any better.
I completely agree. I think opening the show with it was the right thing to do. I think having him come out all smiles as well was really good.
Dude, he was so happy. You know why? Because he knows that he's made it. And no matter what, when he comes back in a few months, like maybe he's got Cena healing abilities too, but even if he doesn't, whenever he comes back, everybody is going to absolutely flip shit.
Yeah, it's going to be bigger than the initial him getting drafted or the initial debut.
Exactly. Because you know what? Like, if they're smart, they have him like just randomly somebody is fucking like talking shit about, not necessarily about the demon, but you know what I mean? Like make some sort of reference to being the best thing on, and then like Finn returns as the demon.
I want to see him come back at Rumble and become the number one contender and like go through the whole roster.
Like, be the number one draft pick or the number one entrant into the Rumble.
Yeah.
It would be pretty ballsy.
It would, but it could be pretty fucking badass if they pull it off. But anyway.
Oh no, it absolutely could.
And then from there, it was interesting to see the direction they took the show, because Seth was great when he comes out. Basically, all right, I'm coming down to collect my championship. I'm the guy now. Obviously, I'm the, I was the number one contender, even though I lost. I should be the new champion.
Right, and Finn actually thanked Seth in his speech, and then Seth just walks right by Finn, doesn't even acknowledge him.
Yeah.
So good.
so good. And you can't take anything away from Seth. He's phenomenal at what he does. But
he is. He absolutely is.
And then we just had essentially half the roster coming out saying that they deserve a shot. And okay, I mean, how else? It was the WWE to handle that. They did a pretty decent job of the situation and keeping Raw moving in the light of obviously having to make huge changes day of show.
Huge changes.
So
right, and not even just day of show, an hours before show. Not even, because obviously he thought he had just popped something and he was fine, and then he, woke up the next morning and was just like, oh, something's not right. So
yeah, exactly. And what was nice though is I liked the list of the people that were getting thrown into the mix for a shot.
It was a little bit random, you know what I mean? There were some people you're just casting in. What the fuck are you doing out here?
Yeah.
But then you got Jericho,
which totally makes sense. Neville was
totally
a bit weird.
Yeah.
Sammy, very nice to see Sammy after kind of getting shafted on SummerSlam. Kind of nice to see Sammy get a little love. I
agree
with getting that, and what an excellent match with Rollins. Sold that ankle the whole match. We both were like, I don't know, man.
We were like, did really we just saw another one? Did we really? And we're like, no, we didn't. But man,
that was so smart that they did that with Seth, because it's just now, Seth, you just hurt everybody. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Just great heat. Ultimately, of course, Seth wins that match. I think we all knew that was going to happen.
Right.
Owens, Neville, decent match. I think we all knew that Owens was probably going to win that match. And
dude, I was kind of secretly hoping for a Neville sneak win, but at the same time, I just love KO so much.
Yeah, and I don't know if it is or isn't, but I want it to be. I'm going to say it right now. I think he's going to be your next champion. I think he's going to be your next Universal Champion.
You think KO is taking it?
I think it's time. I think they're going to do it. It's a bold statement, but I think what they were trying to do with Finn is they were trying to do this new era push of a new champion, a new face for a main event guy, and what better guy now to throw into that mix and into that role as Kevin Owens.
I completely agree. I just don't know, for reasons that we will discuss in a couple minutes. I'm just not sure if that. Well, I mean, then again, Seth will probably be the guy too, because I mean, you got Seth, unless I don't know. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We had working ahead.
What did you think though of the whole way of them planning it out to where you're going to have a 4-way match at the end of a small tournament to decide it? Do you think that's the best way to do it?
I think it's better, I guess. I don't know.
I guess, is that better than, essentially doing the tournament another round and getting, just a stand
3 more matches or 2 more matches out of it?
But maybe that's part of the plan. So
yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? New Day. It's good to see Big E back. it was good to see the club coming out and kind of cutting, and not a funny promo, but a real tough guy promo on Raw.
Right.
Which is probably what they need to be doing. You can mix in.
It is really what they need. You can mix in the doctor stuff because it's funny, tough guy.
Yeah. But establish the real tough guy part first.
Right. And for the love of God, can Machine Gun Carl Anderson win a match, please?
Yes. God damn it. He hasn't won a singles match, right?
I don't think so. We might be wrong about that, but I really don't think so.
If it is, it was like a DQ or something. Like I don't know if it was
something. Like I don't recall him. Like, dude, he had a match with John Cena that he didn't get a single move of offense in.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know. Then we had, oh man, it's like Titus is heel. I don't know if Titus is heel or if Titus is just Titus.
I think they're trying to make him heel.
I think they're trying to just so that they can have some sort of a foil for Darren Young.
I mean, anytime you're beating up old men, you're kind of going down the heel road, and that's the only justification.
Depends on the old man. I didn't hate him beating up Bob Backlund. I did hate the promo because it was terrible.
Hey man, Backlund lives matter.
Backlund lives matter. # Backlund lives matter.
But no, he just looked when Titus comes out and he has a mic. I think everybody just went, "Oh no."
Oh, everybody went, "Oh
no," and it went on so long. And he looked
way too long.
And he looked so lost. He just looked.
It was just so uncomfortable too.
Yeah.
Like he was just like,
It was just
cringe
all over it. I don't hate Titus O'Neil. Like I see his place in the whole grand scheme of things, but man, I don't know. They got to work with him behind the scenes on his promos or something, because that was just atrocious.
Dude, because it was. It absolutely was.
Now, here's another part. This is, for the second day in a row, we've got Rusev looking extremely weak, as he essentially just gave up on his, contendership
He took his ball
match.
and go home.
Yeah. Gave up on his match with Big Cass. Decided to
I didn't get that decision. Like, why wouldn't you? I don't know. Which kind of makes me wonder. Which kind of really makes me wonder if they're gonna fucking pull the trigger on Cass.
Wow. While I think it'll happen at some point, I don't think they're ready to quite yet.
I don't either, but
feel like
it's
how
this has a boner for anybody over fucking 6'10".
Yeah, for sure. And he's off. I mean, he's gotten a lot better on the mic. He's competent in the ring. I feel like he's missing a few elements to his in-ring game. Like I don't know that he's like everything he does is good. I just feel like he's missing a couple moves, or
he doesn't do, like, that's the thing. I feel like he doesn't have a whole lot of moves.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have anything flashy. He doesn't have anything that's which pretty much in this day and age, I think you need to be a main event superstar. Like, you can't necessarily be winning matches, big matches with elbows.
You are correct.
So that would be my only reasoning for saying they're not ready to pull the trigger on Cass. In that whole exchange, though, I do have to give some props to Rusev, because the way he was selling his fake rib injury, especially when he came out and he did his rah for his entrance, and he instantly winced and oh shit, I shouldn't have done that type thing. Like,
it's like, oh,
Rusev, ow, Rusev, ow. It did make me laugh. Highlight for me, or one of the biggest highlights of Raw, was the introduction of Bayley. Which we knew was going to happen.
For me.
We
knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know that it was going to happen Monday.
No, definitely not. They could have waited a little bit. I think maybe that was pushed forward because of Sasha's injury. I think it.
Oh, of course.
I think they sort of knew that they had to bring a Bailey up, especially for just the sake of the women's division. You got. I don't know what it is about her. I think she's just naturally that way. We were talking about it off air. I just love the girl. Like she is so happy. She is so lovable.
And she loves wrestling the way we love wrestling.
Yeah. Has she ever been heel in NXT? Like, have they ever done that?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think they have either. But I'm wondering if like
give it 10 years and let her be a Hulk Hogan style.
Yeah.
Turn.
Yeah, no, totally. That's
like,
what they should do.
Don't rush that.
Don't rush it at all. No, for sure. So Bailey defeats Dana to become, I guess, the number one contender for Charlotte's belt. They haven't announced that yet, but I think the general consensus is that that'll be at Night of Champions, which is the next Raw pay-per-view.
I think they called it Clash of Champions.
Oh, is that it now?
I think so.
Isn't that the old WCW name?
No, it was Clash of the Champions, but it's just Clash of Champions.
Oh.
I saw a graphic for it. It looks weird, whatever. But yeah, then you had, Braun Strowman versus Johnny Knockouts.
Yeah, Johnny Knockout.
Johnny Knockout, who, when asked why he would be willing to take the match when everybody else has been murdered by it, his response was, Owen.
Johnny loves big, sweaty men. Now, here's the thing. Was it mildly amusing at the time? Yeah, but instantly after he said it, I'm like, oh, look at this motherfucker just trying to get his 15 minutes of fame, be all over the internet, trying to get all the interviews, and, I don't know. It felt cheap to me. It felt really cheap.
Well, I mean, you'll notice that, like, the first guy, James Ellsworth, he was the prototype for that. Like, he got a little bit of coverage and everybody.
Yeah, but he didn't mean to be. He was just a weird-looking
guy.
No, they didn't intentionally do that.
But then everybody saw what happened with that. And everybody's just like, oh, well, let's, maybe I can be that guy. Like, no, you can't.
No, I don't know. Do you think, now, this is, I think, later been confirmed, just moving on with the show. At first I thought, Dudley's farewell. Okay. So Bubba's going to turn on Devon, or they're splitting them up, or,
And that's what I thought, too.
And then the more it went on, it's like, oh, this is like a real heartfelt kind of goodbye.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it was like,
I think it was real, which is really kind of surprising.
I think it was too. Especially because over the last a week or two ago, like, it had been reported, and you know how internet reports are and how reputable they are.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Like, it had been reported that they had signed a new deal. So apparently something in the last, week or whatever
changed,
led them to change their mind, and they did a great send off to the Dudleys, interrupted by the Shining Stars.
And then can they just not? I don't. They're not working. I don't dislike either of the guys, but the gimmick isn't working. What are you, travel agents? I don't know.
Dude, none of their gimmicks have worked.
It's maybe, I don't even know if it's their fault. They're okay in the ring. I got nothing against them, but I don't really see them ever being a legitimate tag team, and maybe that's their purpose. Maybe they're always going to be that sort of jokey tag team, but I don't know that we need that right now. Like, let's do something different with them to develop them into a legitimate tag team.
I completely agree. I just don't think that.
Don't see it happening.
Spend all that time. Well, I don't either. But all that time they spent to repackage them from the Matadors into, dude, even the Matadors, like I don't know.
Yeah,
not better.
No,
but
epic waste of money on all those Shining Stars promos. All of it. I did, however.
But it looked like, I think we're going to say about the same thing. Like,
probably.
It looked like like we liked how it looked like the Dudleys were gonna get their comeuppance, and then just when you think that the Dudleys have the upper hand, boom, out comes our favorites.
Yeah, Gallows and Anderson doing what Gallows and Anderson need to be doing, and beating people up for no reason.
Beating up
the entire roster.
They did exactly what the Dudleys would have done in their position when they were that age.
Yeah, exactly. And I obviously thought it was cool in typical wrestling fashion. The guys going out putting over the new dudes, so
exactly.
Kudos to Bubba and Devon for doing that, man. And for all the shit, you can talk. They're a hugely influential tag team. They redefine what it was to be a tag team in the modern era.
Definitely.
I have nothing but respect for them. Yeah, were they a bit of a joke towards this last year, of course.
But just poor booking, but yeah, I mean, but they're still the Dudleys. They're still the like the most decorated tag team in history. So,
and I kind of liked that Bubba even acknowledged that we've had some good times, we've had some bad times, and
yeah,
and the audience, in fairness to them, gave them a tremendous amount of respect, especially with the testify chants and all that. So I didn't.
It was a good send off. It was nice for the crowd not to shit on it.
And the whole segment, actually, like when the Shining Stars came out, I was like, oh no, but it was salvaged. Like everything seemed to work in that segment. And
yeah, well, I mean, because you thought when the Shining Stars came out, you're like, oh great, another dumb angle.
Another dumb angle. Here we go. The Dudleys feuding with the Shining Stars to take up TV time.
Right.
But instead, we got a magic killer through the goddamn table.
Oh, it was so good.
So do that more, please. Do more of that.
Do more of that.
A little disappointed with something here coming up. We had Jericho Roman Reigns for the contender match.
Main event.
Yeah, main event of the show. Decent match. Jericho doing what Jericho does. Reigns doing what Reigns does. Reigns has learned to wrestle. No one can say that motherfucker can't wrestle anymore. He can, and he's pretty damn good in the ring. Like,
yeah, and it's like, honestly, if you're chanting "We can't wrestle at Roman," it's like you're an asshole.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest disappointment is not necessarily with Reigns winning the match. I feel like we all sort of expect that at this point, that even though, he did his time, so they have to do something with him. They can't keep burying him, but I would have liked to have seen him extend with the Ruru thing for a bit longer and take that to, have him be the U.S. champion in a couple months or something like that. But it seems like they're thrusting him back into more of a main event position. But more disappointing to me than that is that they might be ending this Jericho thing already.
Oh, dude, I know. That's going to be terrible.
Because it works so well. They're fantastic together. They're one of the most interesting and compelling things to watch in all of wrestling right now. Now they could shock us, and because it's those two guys, they could easily do a fake sort of making up thing next week, and maybe because Jericho hasn't, move forward, one of them will sort of half apologize. They get back together. I hope they do that. I hope they kind of go that direction. Extend it out a little bit longer. Don't do it now. Like let's have it go at least another month or so before we're.
Yeah, there's so much potential there.
There's so many great promos in those two left that I just don't want to see the end of it. But overall, it was a pretty good Raw. It was
solid Raw, yeah.
Solid Raw, especially considering what cards they were dealt. They really, I think, pulled it off in the end. I think it's the right thing to do. Having a small tournament to decide, who's going to be the next champion. I like that it's a bit of a a random assortment of guys.
Random smattering.
Yeah. The only problem I really have is, and it obviously keeps going back to Roman. Are we just gonna get another Seth Roman feud out of this? Is that what's brewing?
I hope not. I really hope not. That's played out.
It's played out. It would be unfair to us already because we've just done it. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what we were doing all before Roman's suspension.
Yeah, and it had been done prior to that, even before Setipu.
Correct.
So why not just take the chance on KO and move it in a slightly different direction? Have a KO Rollins feud. That would be ideal. But we'll see.
And I think that would be fantastic as well. But are you going to have a heel feud?
I don't care about that anymore, honestly. I think especially when it comes to some of the bigger matches like that, I think you can get away with it because they're both over enough in their own ways as heels. They're not despised heels because they're both, you know what I mean? They both have fan support.
No, I completely agree. And I think that that's also correct. I agree with that as well. I'm just saying,
will they do it?
Will they do it?
Oh.
So I don't know. Going to SmackDown.
Hope and want are two different things. SmackDown was a tremendous show. It was really, really good.
SmackDown was awesome.
It was probably the strongest SmackDown since the brand split, right?
I think so.
Yeah, no, it was great. AJ as this dick, to Dolph as the show opens. Man, he's such a good dick, and he's calling himself the face that runs the place. He's wearing John Cena's armband around his head. He's fucking.
Dude, everything about it is so good. He is just being so fucking smarmy.
And once again, fucking poor Dolph.
Dude, seriously, he's just sitting there moping in the dressing room. And
who did he piss off? Who did he piss off backstage? Right,
I mean, at least they're keeping him on TV? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's it. What'd you think of the new belts?
I love them.
Yeah, new SmackDown tag belts and SmackDown Women's belt. I think they look really good. I think.
New SmackDown Women's belt looks really sharp, and then, dude, the new SmackDown tag belts look great.
The tag belts look really good. I think they look better than the original belts.
Definitely.
I think they do. I like that
they're not the bronze pennies anymore.
Yeah. Which I don't mind the bronze pennies. I think those get a bad rap, but I like that they stuck with a similar theme.
I don't mind them either.
I like they stuck with a similar theme. They've got the Spartan things on the sides of them or whatever, but
it's the same. It's the same design.
Mm-hmm.
It's just cast in silver, or I guess they would say platinum, probably.
But no, they look good. I think the audience definitely reacted a lot differently than they did for the Universal Championship.
Right.
I think everybody now, though, is expecting when's the blue strap coming on the WWE Championship. Do you think they will?
I don't think they need to.
I don't think they need to either. I could maybe see them throwing a little bit more of some blue accents in them or in there or something, but don't do the whole strap blue. That's definitely, that would be a no-no in my opinion.
I'm looking at my belt right now. I'm like, if you do the whole strap blue, don't fill in the, you know what I mean? Because
don't fill in the back
the Universal Champion.
Yeah,
where the logo is, they filled that in solid with a red thing, and so it's a different shade of red than the strap is.
Right.
So if you want to do that, leave it open so you can tell that it's recessed down to where the leather is.
No, I agree completely. So speaking of those new belts, we had the announcement that it was going to be AJ versus Ambrose, and that the main event for the evening on tonight's SmackDown was going to be Dolph Ziggler versus AJ Styles, and this was This was a really interesting stipulation. This was Dolph Ziggler's
actually no, because what they did is they said they made the match for Dolph Ziggler versus AJ Styles.
Yes,
and the stipulation was as such: if AJ wins, he gets to go on to Backlash to face Dean Ambrose for the title. Cool. If Dolph wins, then Dolph is added to that match to make it a triple threat.
AJ was going there either way.
Exactly. So they just kind of didn't think that one through.
Yeah, no, that was a really interesting way to play that. And again, back to, shitting on Dolph just kind of makes him look weak. It's like, oh, you couldn't even get yourself in the match, bud.
Right.
Well,
right. And that was why I really thought, I'm like, man, are they really going to fucking have Dolph win this match and have it be a triple threat? Like, AJ just beat John Cena clean in what could have been match of the year. Are we really going to negate that by having him lose fucking Dolph 2 days later?
That would be fucking stupid. But the thought did cross my mind. I was terrified that was going to happen. Thankfully, it didn't. And I know we just skipped ahead to the main event, but fuck it. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. I mean, what we're not talking about that happened during the belt unveiling is that Heath Slater interrupted, somehow coming through the audience with a microphone. So obviously, that makes sense.
Heath.
Heath, exactly. And basically they said that Heath Slater, if he can find a tag team partner by the end of the night, will be entered into the tournament for the new SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And the only way that he will get a contract for the new belt, for the SmackDown, is if he goes all the way with his teammate, and wins the tag team championships. So that is why.
That is why you are making the bold prediction.
I am making the bold prediction that Heath Slater, baby, and Representative Rhino will be. I think they'll take it, and I think they'll take it and then drop it the very next SmackDown, but they'll still take it.
That's a really good way to look at it. I like the way that's all shaping up too. It's kind of it was great seeing Heath backstage trying to find a tag partner. I mean, first with Arn Anderson and
first with the Miz.
No, first was with Miz. Great little segment with Miz on the phone to his agent, talking about how he was
the Spielberg, quote unquote.
Yeah. He was going to be. This is the thing that's going to take him to the next level, and obviously he thinks
he's going to be the next Indiana Jones.
Reveal to it. Yeah, he's obviously on his Bluetooth headset. Love it.
And then he Arn Anderson and. Oh, God, I love Arn.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he might be a drunken bastard, but who cares? Like he's awesome.
So are you. It's fine.
Yeah, we're the best. He ends up then, like you said, getting some love from Rhino after exhausting all his possibilities. Rhino of all people is willing to team with Heath to do it. And I think it's kind of a cool fit for them both because they're both, in no man's land together. So why not?
Exactly.
Why not kind of throw them together? And yeah, like you said, they would be great as champions, if only for a night.
Yeah, I mean, great is like a very short term champion.
Yeah, exactly. I liked the fact that Becky won a match clean.
Yay!
It's good to see Becky not jobbing again. She's been really just pushed to the side for so long that,
Well, I mean, there were just so many other women that they wanted to showcase that she got pushed to the wayside. I really think that this brand split, she's going to be one of the ones that benefits the most out of this.
Yeah, in my heart of hearts, I think she might even go on to win that 6-man tag. Or not tag, but that 6-pack match.
The 6-pack women's match?
Yeah.
I really think she might.
I really think she might, because otherwise, who do you really have possible? I mean, I guess it's Nikki Bella's obviously all in there. I wouldn't be surprised if they did throw it on her, but she doesn't need it.
No, she doesn't.
And then the rest of the competition's kind of just like, does anybody really care? Like, I'm trying to think, like, because there's like a Carmella.
Well, you got Carmella, you've got Naomi, you've got Natalia, Becky, Alexa Bliss, and Nikki Bella.
Just don't throw it on Natty, please. Please don't throw it on Natty.
No, definitely don't. And you got to teach Naomi how to talk before you can give her the belt.
Yeah, I think the rest of like all the other choices are kind of just, they're not very feasible. That's why I think it's a safe.
No, I feel like it's got to be Becky.
Yeah, give her the shot. It's her time. What did you think of the first in the tag team tournament, the Ascension versus the Usos? I actually thought the Ascension might even pull out a win on this one, but no.
I thought they might too, but of course your favorite team pulled out the win.
God damn it.
I know. For those of you that don't know, Owen hates all Samoans.
Not all, but most.
Not all Samoans, just all Samoan wrestlers.
Yeah, well, there's got to be. The Rock's okay. I mean,
The Rock is okay.
Yeah,
he's not really a wrestler anymore.
No, he's not. Was he ever? But no.
Fucking doom.
I just fucking hate the Usos in general. Are just so boring. Like, yeah, I don't.
You don't like the way they say "oos" every other word.
They got stupid grills and stupid face paint and.
Not all the time with the grills, but the face paint, yeah, all the time.
Yeah, super kicks in stereo. We got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy and Bray Orton, I guess you're going to be feuding.
Randy and Bray Orton?
Oh, is that? Yeah, my bad. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt are apparently going to be feuding. That's interesting.
Yeah. I could be okay with that as long as fucking Bray comes out on top in that one.
I'm so scared that he's not going to.
Dude, I know, me too, but god damn it, like, he can't be God and lose matches.
No. You pointed out that they had really enhanced his whole opening entrance in Titantron.
The production value of his entrance, yeah. Like, well, because now the SmackDown, like the set, the ramp, it's a shorter ramp, but it's all LED flooring.
Which is cool.
Which is really cool. But yeah, they've literally made all of that like a sea of fireflies.
Yeah. I really am digging, and we never even mentioned it, they debuted at SummerSlam, but I'm really digging these new ring posts.
The brand new sets. In general, the brand new sets, but the ring posts, like the new SmackDown set, is fucking great.
Yeah, no, it's
and yeah, the new ring posts, like they're LED video now, like video surrounds on the ring posts, making them considerably larger.
Yeah,
but making them look really fucking cool.
I was actually going to say something about that too. I think not only do they look really cool, I think they add some potential for high flyers. I think I've
already seen somebody go off the top of it.
Yeah, they're a little bit larger. They can get a little bit more balance. Instead of balancing on the ropes, they have the ability to now use that extra
move a
footing
foot back.
Yeah. So it's going to be good for like maybe jumps outside the ring, that type of thing. Hopefully they don't encourage too much of that, because we'll end the show with something that relates to that. But right. a Randy Bray feud could be cool. I think there's a few decent matches to be had in that. Probably, I don't see any reason why that's a one and done thing. I think both of them need a program right now. It fits that Bray would be wanting to destroy Randy, a legend in his own right. So yeah, I'm okay with it.
A legend killer in his own right.
Yes, indeed.
We had what was it? We have another. The Arn Anderson Heath Slater. We talked about that. So then we had another for tag team tournament qualifier, Breezango and American Alpha. Obviously, Alpha goes over in that one.
Obviously. I think
decent match.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It was kind of a meh. I think Alpha gets to the finals too, right? Don't you?
I think they do. And I think that... and see, that's where I'm torn. Like, do they get to the finals, or does somebody screw them out of it?
That could be a huge possibility.
And then they started a secondary feud, because I don't think you give the belts to Alpha immediately.
No, especially when we've just
they're good enough for it.
Yeah.
Like, they're obviously good enough for it, but I just, I don't know.
No, I think you're right. I think you hold off on them. Like, maybe they're second or third champs, but they're not first.
No, I think you have Heath Slater and Rhino somehow, like Heath Slater squeaks out the win. You know what I mean? Like, schoolboy roll up or something, and then
it's probably going to be against the fucking Usos.
No, here's what you do. Here's how you do it, buddy. Here's how you do it.
Let me hear it.
You have it come down to the finals, be Heath Slater and Rhino, aka Team Above Ground Pool, against because you're only allowed to have above ground pools in Michigan. I don't know if you know this, especially Detroit.
Yeah, is
above
that right?
ground pools only. Yeah, because if you have an in-ground pool, a juggalo will use it for a mating pool.
So that's why Rhino is down with the above ground pool contingency.
Rhino is totally down with the above ground pool. So you've got Team Above Ground Pool versus American Alpha in the finals.
Yeah, I dig that.
Alpha's like dominant, and then somehow in the end, schoolboy roll up, illegal gore, something like that.
Yeah.
Heath Slater and Rhino win, starting another feud, like extend that feud with American Alpha for another month or so, 2 months, and then you give Alpha the titles.
Nah, that's a good idea. That works for me. I would be into that.
Anyway, enough fantasy booking. Dean Ambrose wore a big hat.
He did wear a big hat.
And apparently likes to gamble.
Yeah, and looked like he was drinking a rum and coke to me.
It did. Rum and coke, and it looked like he had a coffee and a wine almost, like a really dark wine. I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing, Dean? He was abusing though. I didn't mind his backstage segment, and I always like Ambrose on commentary too.
Yeah, I do too. I really don't.
He's actually got
I don't have a problem.
He's actually got a good commentator's voice.
He really does. He's really good. He's good at it as well. Especially if he's
ad-libs are all there. Yeah, he has fun with it. He keeps it relevant, and he's good at keeping things canon to his character, which I like. And then we have obviously he was on commentary for the Ziggler AJ Styles match, which we've already said AJ Styles comes out on top of. But overall, a really, really solid match. It was definitely more interesting than the Ziggler Ambrose match at SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, way better.
I think AJ can do that though with people. I think he can make anybody look good.
I think that's a pretty big part of it too.
Yeah. I mean, not to say Ziggler's bad, but no, AJ can make anyone look good. Moving that forward, just because we're short on time, but I do want to ask you. That brings us to the fact that we'll be having an Ambrose Styles match at what's the next pay-per-view called?
Yeah, Backlash. The SmackDown independent pay-per-view, first one. Do you think Styles takes it? I do.
Ooh, bold. I'm gonna have to see how this one unfolds a little bit. I think it's a little too soon to tell.
If you ask me right now, well, no, you don't get to back out on that. If you made me answer, you have to answer too. But if you're because you asked me right now, as of right now, I do think that AJ takes it.
Yeah, no, you're right. Okay. I would agree with that.
And honestly, I'm going to say that AJ is going to take it no matter what, because I want you to think about it like this. He just fucking beat John Cena clean.
Good point. Yeah.
Is he going to lose to Dolph Ziggler? Is Dolph Ziggler a better wrestler than John Cena? Or not Dolph Ziggler. Is Dean Ambrose a better wrestler? Is Dean Ambrose a better wrestler than John Cena? Because
Absolutely
that's what
not.
you would be saying if Ambrose beats AJ clean.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. I think that's a very, very logical argument you made there. I mean, barring any shenanigans that could come into play.
Of course.
I do.
But I also think you've got to give AJ that strap at some point.
No, you do. It's going to be great too to have like a real heel AJ champ, because he's just going to talk shit to everyone.
Dude, he's heel AJ with no backup either. That's the best fucking part.
Yeah.
So I think AJ takes it, and that's part of why I don't think that KO takes it.
That could be true. Having two heels on either side as your champs is going to be a little bit odd.
I mean, and that's also why, I'm like, oh, well, how about Seth? I'm like, please don't give it to Roman. And that's why, in my head, I'm like,
could they be pulling the plug on Cass?
Dude, exactly.
I would love it if they did it.
It would force the kid to step his game up.
Without a doubt. And I think it's too soon. I don't know. Gosh, there's so many questions when it comes to that.
I know, and that's why I'm glad that we still got a couple more weeks.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I think there's quite a bit of news. Just we'll run through a couple of them here. Finn Balor's surgery was indeed successful, so that's a good thing. We can all be happy about that. The Dudleys really did retire from the WWE. That's come out on several different outlets now that wasn't a work at all. Like, that's the real deal.
Right. No, that was real deal.
And then Brock is in trouble with the whole doping thing. He definitely got a temporary suspension from the Nevada Athletic Commission, which could have huge ramifications down the road.
Because right now what it is, he's temporarily suspended because, he's temporarily suspended. It's like suspended pending investigation.
Yeah, exactly. So
is exactly what it is.
We'll see how that shapes up in the near future. But I think the big wrestling news was something that was kind of a work, kind of a shoot, but came after last night's SmackDown.
On the new WWE exclusive show, Talking Smack, right?
Talking Smack, yes. Did you see the clip?
So I did, and I'm still not quite sure if it was a work or a shoot or both.
I think it was both. I think it
was both.
Yeah,
because man, that was like, whoa.
It was impassioned.
Because you could tell that. Yeah, D-Bry was pretty upset.
D-Bry was pretty upset, but I think The Miz had every right to be upset though too. Like, I think he had some really, really valid points. If you haven't seen it, it's all over the web. Just look it up. It's a great clip in which D-Bry is basically saying he doesn't like the chicken shit style of The Miz and his wrestling style. He doesn't.
He said that The Miz wrestled like a coward.
Yes, those were his exact words. He used the term coward, to which Miz did not respond well to. Miz then made some very good points that he's been doing this for over a decade, and he hasn't got these, constant injuries. And essentially his style, the reason he wrestles in this style is to prevent himself from getting all these injuries.
But that's not even, I don't even think that's the most, that's the most shoot part of the interview. The most shoot part of the interview was when The Miz was going off on D-Bry saying, if you really love wrestling the way that you claim you do,
oh, no shit.
Why are you here? Why are you here in a authority role? Why aren't you wrestling on the indies? Why, you claim that you love wrestling. Why aren't you doing it?
No, that brings it. That's a really, really good point. It's going to be interesting to see if B-Bry responds to this at all, or if the WWE really responds much about it at all. I mean, I guess they already have by way of the fact they've been kind of promoting that clip all over the place. But it's still, it's like, wow, where does, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens next week on SmackDown. No,
because that's definitely it's definitely some shit that's like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah, no shit. I think that is probably a good place for us to end for the week. It's been a long show. It's been a long week. I'm sure we'll be back.
Every time we have one of these, it's going to be like this, though.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, we'll try and maybe, I'm not going to make any promises. I don't think we need to, speed things up or whatever. I enjoy doing it the way we do it.
Fine.
It's fine the way it is. But I definitely, this one was a marathon of a week and a show. I'm personally a little tired. I'm looking forward to watching some NXT later on tonight.
Yeah.
I feel like that's coming in my near future. And then I think I'm going to play one of these. I found some of these alternate entrance theme songs, which I really, really love. And I think I'm going to start using them. The first one I'm gonna play for you guys is Brock Lesnar's. He's got a new theme song. Do you know that, Duncan? It's a brand new theme song. It's an alternate entrance theme song.
No.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's unreleased, so like you may not have heard it yet.
Okay.
But
because you're such a hipster.
Yeah,
and it's probably only available like it plays on a fucking piece of stone that you have to run backwards through like a fucking phonograph.
Well, I think they're gonna debut it the next time Lesnar comes out. So I hope you enjoy it. And I'm giving it's just like sneak peek. It's like breaking. We got an exclusive on Ono Wrestling. So
we got an exclusive on Owen Dubs.
Yeah, that's it. So Duncan, have a wonderful week. I'll talk to you very, very soon. And like I said, here's Brock Lesnar's theme song.
This guy is like a flesh tank, ready to smash through a fucking wall. Ladies and gentlemen, the Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar is a hero, yes he is. You couldn't beat him even if you tried, I'll tell you this. After he wins, he gives the other guy a kiss. And then he runs off stage so he can take a victory piss. Brock Lesnar, sometimes his skin is red. A thick sheen of sweat glistening on his chiseled torso. A girthy penis in those pouty little lips. Go ahead, grab that guy, show him who the beast incarnate is. Come on, Brock, we wanna kiss you all night. Come on, Brock, we need to witness a fight. Come on, Brock, you're made of muscles and flesh. Come on, Brock, we really think you're the best. Come on, Brock, we wanna kiss you all night. Come on, Brock, we need to witness a fight. Come on, Brock, you're made of muscles and flesh. Come on, Brock, we really think you're the best.
Man, oh man, I wish I could grill up that hot body and put it on a bed of fresh romaine lettuce or maybe some kale or spinach or I don't know, probably some kind of dressing or something too.